losing to Kung Fu Gaming in the last game, but as we discussed, apparently that was more of a trollish style of game with nothing technically on the line. You know, they definitely just had fun with it. So they did finish with a 4-3 record overall. However, they did finish third place as a result of what they did. The other two losses did come to the hands of Stay Green EU as well as Complexity. So Complexity already has their number once in this event. We'll see if it maybe continues moving on. Before we get things moving on here, though, in this matchup, let's take a look at the team profiles here for Complexity and VDT. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. The two teams going at it, Complexity and Vietnamese Dream Team. Again, in case you forgot who they were, if you still haven't checked in, if you're new to the cast here this weekend, there you go. The two teams that are coming at you. But, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like it has begun, Emperor. I got to ask, though, are you ready?
I'm pumped, Breaky. Let's get in the game.
Are you guys ready? You guys should be ready. Let's get in. Game number 1 here. Best out of 3 series. Of course, VDT on the Legion side. Complexity going to be on the Hellborn side. Do you blind ban the Monkey King if you're Complexity?
The Monkey King empath. A big surprise coming out. You know, one thing interesting about VDT is that compared to all the rest of the teams in the tournament, people seem to be tailoring their ban specifically to the strengths of their team, which maybe can work out to the better for them.
Yeah.
More heroes will be left open in the end. Yeah,
the empath Monkey King. I want to say Stay Green EU also did that against VDT in the match that we saw earlier today. So. And the first time when Complexity played VDT, that was earlier on in day number 1. I'm honestly blanking on exactly how that one played out, but obviously other than Complexity won that game, so so I have no clue where I was going with that, honestly. But Keeper of the Forest going to be the first lock, Parasite Rally, the follow-up, Glacius, Master of Arms coming out there, and then the final lock going to be happening. What did Pee-wee play against Complexity?
Against Complexity, he played Scout. Played Carry Scout.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it was a Carry Scout. Okay.
Yeah, go back. He got his core of items. He got his Sustainer, got his Ghost Marchers, and he ported top. Tried assisting a gank at Covenant Tower. Really liked it. Picked off a kill onto some hero I forget. Tried to get the additional attack on kill with the Master of Arms, and I keep bringing up the more Moon converted it, and then they got game control. So, yeah, hopefully not going to make a similar mistake this game, and we'll just go for the fights where they know they have the advantage. Lodestone being the final lock by B-Kid. He knows that, you know, overall VDT hasn't been going for those really powerful conventional jungler picks, and, well, B-Kid probably able to use that to his advantage here, figuring out of this lock pool, if I had to expect them to take something, I'd be leaning more towards probably a Rally. Seems to be their hero of choice.
Yeah. There's the Deadwood band coming out right there. So again, this is a best out of 3. The winner of this series, we showed the brackets many of times. You can also check our brackets at ghostofgamers.net/Han. The coverage that's been going over there for all the 2 days so far, and then even leading up to the event, and then continuing on tomorrow, of course. Some great stuff. But the winner of this plays Stay Green, who just got finished defeating Stay Green EU 2-0 in their series. The loser of this will eventually play Myth S2Y, I believe, in the losers bracket. So, again, double elimination, so still in it, but he'll have to face Myth S2Y in the losers portion of this event.
Myth S2Y just coming off a victory over It's Showtime.
Yeah.
There. So It's Showtime officially knocked out of this tourney.
Yes.
Pretty rough road for them.
Yeah.
Actually, feel a little bit bad for Nova there.
Yeah.
Seems like, I don't know, it didn't seem like their heart, honestly, just didn't, I can't make that many statements, but it didn't seem like their heart was in it just based on the games they watched. And
Again, it was a difficult situation even coming into the first place with the visa issues and having to change players, but I don't feel bad for Nova simply because he got to come to DreamHack at the end and actually play.
Exactly.
That's why I don't feel bad for Nova.
Hopefully everyone's out there, like, I don't think that's reflective of, say, Nova's future in Heroes of New Earth. This is all the point I wanted to get across. It's
of course.
Yeah, I just came here to try to help a team out, and in the end, didn't work out. But hopefully, see him around. I really like Nova as outside of the game and in game as well.
Yeah, of course, yeah, great player, awesome guy to talk with, and definitely hope he continues to stick around the scene for much longer. Which I honestly think he will. So. I'm looking forward to the future of him. But, yeah, so ITS knocked out. The other losers bracket match, speaking of that, actually, again, being covered by Complexity Cast at the same time, it is the Kung Fu Gaming versus the Impunity losers bracket matchup, the 6 versus 7 seed down there. So, going to keep an eye on that. And the winner of that will then eventually play Stay Green EU in the following round. We're moving along in this game. Warbeast, Deadwood, Predator, Engineer, Pandemonium, and Fade to finish things off. B-Kid has been playing that Pandemonium every now and then, so VDT addressing that a little bit. Pebbles, first pick coming out here. So getting a strong start, to say the least.
They're really powerful. Kind of just occupying a slot there, unless they're having Pee-wee or something play the Pebbles in more of that safe lane role. Kind of going back, not really going to be able to get that. I mean, Magmus isn't on board, but they've been running that Magmus rally together a lot. Yeah. 2 things they don't want to do. They probably don't want to give Complexity. Well, they probably wouldn't give them that Keepers in the pull end pairs. I don't think Complexity would pass over both, but there's a rally Master of Arms combination. I don't think Complexity is going to allow VDT to get that. Vice versa, I don't think VDT wants to allow. Well, I would say they wouldn't want to allow Complexity to get it, but I mean, at the same time, if they draft rally first and they wind up getting, Keeper Parasite or something powerful, I'm not sure if they'd be too pleased with that. Yeah. I think it'd be fine actually if they took Keeper Parasite. Keeper, they have a lot of options as far as laning against it goes, and they're able to run a number of heroes and allow Pee-wee to grow pretty big in that hard carry spot. Meanwhile, Parasite, they've shown that with their aggressive play, they aren't really too afraid of that jungler slot.
VDT going to now go with their second and third picks here. This is where you maybe expect, again, Pee-wee's made a point that he's a fan of playing those unconventional carry heroes especially. Again, we saw Gemini, so the Monkey King style. We've seen Swiftblade from him before. So not afraid to do it. The carry scout even. We've seen Scout Suicide, but not so much the carry scout, which he did yesterday, as he talked about against Complexity before. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what maybe happens this time around for them. But the Magmus Aluna coming up for Complexity. Yeah, Beacon again, loving the Magmus.
Yeah, I don't know how much Complexity values that Lodestone picks. That's the only thing I'm struggling with here. If it was SGEU, and actually most teams, Lodestone is an absolutely ridiculous hero right now, in my opinion. Just provides so much burst even when he's suffering in lane. Pretty solid initiation, and, well, he's a super tanky melee strength hero, just capable of putting up immense amounts of damage. Expect him to be on high priority for Complexity's pick list.
Oh my God!
What the hell? You actually let out an oh my God!
Oh
there
my God.
It wasn't even I'm not even sure.
Giggity, man.
What's up though?
I
don't.
Pee-wee number one. Pee-wee number one. I love this guy.
Shout out to ALG there.
I love this guy.
Support. Shout out to Breaky, says Pee-wee.
He did it.
Is this real life? There's a lot on the line here.
This is
Clearly,
why I love
it's
this
not
guy.
just troll.
New favorite player. I
said in the side conversation earlier, I was talking, I'm like, you know what? Pee-wee doesn't seem to have as much success here running the more conventional carry options. He tried to run artillery, other ranged carries. I'm like, I wanted to see him run those more eccentric melee carries that we don't get to see that often. Not just because I think it's fun to see, but also I feel like Pee-wee's sort of thriving when given that opportunity.
Yeah, it's his style, and it does have that factor of teams aren't used to playing against them. So as experienced as a team complexity is, I guarantee you they're probably even telling themselves like, wait, okay, great Berserker, we know a skill set, sure, but we don't have experience really playing against him. So
in terms of capabilities.
Exactly. I will say again, I'm very biased, of course. This is a hero that I've stated many times that I just want to see him. We got to see him a couple times. Lion definitely picked him up. It was Handskin, or I believe it was Handskin. Maybe it wasn't actually. Anyway, somebody on Super KG maybe. Lions picked him up a couple times, made it work. We've seen him a couple times on some other teams be dominant. So just the concept of this hero, the man mode concept of this hero. And he benefits from that. Is just freaking awesome. I'm also a big fan of his ultimate and how, you know, the Carnage, as it's called. I mean, just the name itself.
Well, yeah, but I look at a hero like Predator, and obviously Predator is banned out in this game. But if I can name Berserker or Predator, Predator has a way to close the distance, kind of like Berserker with that leash. Pretty much permanently gets the effects of bonus damage thanks to it, along with lifesteal and a free shrunken head, whereas Berserker takes bonus damage but gets to be able to shrug off debuffs.
You know, it actually makes that. You look at who banned those heroes, both Predator and Pandemonium to an extent. Could be you could consider decent heroes against a Berserker.
Keeper of the Force is drafted here.
I wonder. Keeper of the Force, yeah, the first
probably
pick.
More in a suicide role once again. Lodestone, Rally, Master of Arms, very powerful options. This entire pool minus the Glacius, potentially pickable here. With the Magmas, the extra Line Sun, something like a Rally could be powerful, but Lodestone also has that Line Sun Moon Meander, known for tearing it up, so maybe a little bit more presence there. Gonna go for the Rally instead, though. Yeah, so Rally Parasite drafted.
Get a solid option here for VDT to finish things off. I mean,
could potentially go for something like
I would think the Lodestone, honestly, a good suicide option there. Oh, I guess
maybe, but they've been doing a lot of work with Master too, and just running the dual lanes and roaming around. Wouldn't be shocked.
Actually, Master, yeah. I'm seeing the Master. I'm feeling.
Yeah, they already have Keeper. I mean, they could technically run the Jungle Keeper of the Forest, run a suicide Lodestone. Masters fitting more of that style. They have not been, and especially a passive jungle, I think that would just absolutely wreck the playstyle of VDT. I think they would lose all momentum and lose out in a game here against Complexity, no questions asked. Especially given the fact that they're running a Parasite there, arguably the most aggressive jungler in the game.
Yeah. Excited, man. Excited, man. Pee-wee playing the Berserker. I cannot believe it. Game number 1 here in this.
Definitely going to steal a lot of attention here. And
oh, yeah. As deservingly so.
Still, if it loses, don't want to be using that Berserker as a scapegoat. I mean, this is a match with a lot on the line here. They came all the way to Dreamhack and placing third and facing off against Complexity here in our second semifinals winners bracket match. It means a lot here. So once again, I want to stress that this isn't like a troll pick with nothing online. They picked this up feeling like they have the capability to win with it, and well, they're trying to go hard here.
Yeah, so again, going to be excited to see what he ultimately will bring to the table this game, and if the Berserker does come through again. The fact, hey, he led the way in terms of beating Stay Green with Gemini of all heroes. So,
we can't say Gemini. I mean, but Gemini is a hero that since the patch, a lot of people have been claiming potentially is a little bit overpowered. Overall, I think the hero is pretty balanced though, and does what he's intended to do. He did hit insane amounts of GPM that game, so he was able to thrive. Take a look at Berserker in this lineup. What he offers alongside Keeper of the Forest is another Mobilize against Rally. Still, takes a little bit to use it. There is still like that time of casting the whip and then breaking it. If during that time Rally just gets his push off, still won't really matter as much, but still on targets he's trying to break down will be a little bit more difficult for Rally to salvage. Otherwise, it gives a little bit of a true sight here too against Magmas, who normally known for using that Steam Bath in the middle of a fight. Get that? I think it's called Mark of Death is actually Mark for Death is actually the official name. Does reveal him. I think it lasts about 8 seconds if I'm not mistaken, and
max
pretty short cooldown. It also resets obviously per target, kind of like the Nomad. What is that ability called even?
True Strike.
The True Strike, yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of also with the Runic Shift, the Elder Parasite change, this was the first hero that I thought of honestly when I saw the Elder Parasite change was Berserker.
Right, it was a pretty common pickup on him before, so
yeah, even more so now. I mean,
right, let's get it on.
The health gain obviously helping the fact of his Carnage ability.
Yeah, I've seen Berserker a couple times. I've seen him played in competitive. Actually played both ways with Strength Sap being max and with Mark for Death. Mark for the Death obviously the benefit of not only getting that haste, move speed, and mutant walking, but also a lot of people forget the fact that it does give you that bonus attack speed as you level it up.
Yeah.
Still, with an Elder Parasite, gives you that move speed and attack speed anyway. It might not need that, or maybe not more than 1 or 2 points at least.
Playing the Dwarf Berserker as well, so Hellborn
Oh, the
team,
Gutbuster skin. That's
yeah.
my personal favorite. I have
Yeah.
that auto-selected personally.
It's just this, got tons of armor, man.
I gotta say, you know, they've been known, VDT was known for going into that aggressive jungle with 5. Here, they're gonna actually meet Complexity. Rally gonna find Pyromancer, but Pyro skirting on out. They wanted the Berserker or anyone to catch him out if possible. Keeper of the Forest doing the pull. This isn't a normal game where you saw them meeting with 5, so.
Yeah. Keeper of the Forest not there, so they definitely could have worked up a Complexity if they found that opportunity, but they did not. It is a 4 versus 4
very powerful
right
level
now.
1 team. Pebble's actually still granting vision. One of the tankier targets they would have to go on, but no shield on him, so.
In the end, it doesn't look like there's ultimately going to be any progression in terms of the initiation, and we are going to start scattering to our lanes right here. So, Parasite did go the boots first with the 2 mana potions, did Riser.
It does signify that he's going in the aggressive jungle.
Uh-huh.
Doesn't really matter to VDT, and once again, instead of running more heroes top of the start, they have a Keeper of the Forest, so I'm sure they'll be focusing most of their team here in the bot and mid. Pyromancer staying here. A ward actually placed by Peter Pandem on the side there. And Parasite, in the end, might opt to, well, get the hell out of there and stay in his own woods.
Yeah, it looks like he's definitely heading to his own woods and just going to go over the farm route instead. So the boots obviously can still benefit, especially for setting up ganks at the top lane, perhaps, on the Keeper. Maybe not so much, but middle lane perhaps as well. Zergo playing that Pebbles. Zergo, by the way, if you missed it earlier, claiming himself as the best 15-year-old in Europe. Beat Zai earlier in a 1v1 matchup. A lot of fun, of course. It came down to the wire, man. If you missed that,
actually
on the bot
keeps
later.
him in the net there.
Yeah.
I wonder what the maximum break range is there.
That seemed like
850.
Yeah.
850. So just a 600. Actually, how far is they at? 600 unit compel. So as long as he's within 200 during the compel, we'll still actually keep him in there. Interesting thing to note.
Yeah.
Puts Rally in a net again, and he's going to be. Well, he already can't compel right now, but.
Yeah.
Not really going to see any mana potions out there. Pyromancer did join up with Pebbles sooner than later here in this mid lane. Can be keeping an eye out there. Trough playing Wretched Hag here against the Keeper of the Forest in this matchup. Haunt leveled up right at the start, and I expect to see him put a few more points into that as well, just to try to gain lane dominance here against this Keeper of the Forest. Trough, a player who pretty much is all his matchups, he's just a very aggressive laner in general, prefers to, in the early waves, establish the lane through the harass, especially when he knows he has a matchup he can win in, and then more focus on the creep control from there, but building up a relative advantage first.
Yeah. Again, even favoring some harass auto attacks, even denying to an extent too. I mean, lane positioning is obviously just so important in that laning phase. Middle lane in the meantime, Pyromancer going to be gone on. The boots on Parasite helping to set up a gank perhaps. Will it be successful? Yes, it will. Riser actually gets credit for the bloodless kill. When it's all said and done, it looks like he came in with a wild hunter right there. And, well, you can kind of guess what happened from there. The stun set up, came out of nowhere with the leech, and eventually upset up the kill. Bloodless kill for Riser there.
Yep, I like to say it a lot, man. Win min, win game. This usually creates mid is usually such a vital hero. In this game, Pebbles can be responsible for setting up a lot of the fights here, allowing the Legion team to thrive and be able to collect more farm around the map with the pressure and early portal peak can create. Meanwhile, Hellborn, that Magnus, got out of control early upgraded boots, and pretty much doing the same thing for them. That line stun, a devastating blink line stun with a follow-up from Rally just can chain disable their team so hard. Setting up for a perfect Bat Blast power throw combination on top of the Sonar Scream, and, well, that'll be about as long as they last.
Blood Chalice on the courier. It looks like that is going to be delivered to Riser. Right there, it's the bottle. It's delivered to Magnus, so some good early items picked up on the side of Complexity, of course. Definitely taking advantage of that Bloodlust kill there. Berserker, by the way, he's so far 2-2, so Strength Sap and the Chain Spike. He actually leveled out the Chain Spike first, so perhaps going to be going max out on the Chain Spike.
I think you should.
Actually,
I mean, I usually like to do that. It's just a reliable damage source. And yeah, but yeah, Strength Sap, to answer the question, can be leveled up over that mark for death.
At least initially. See here in that rally matchup, maybe it also makes sense for that reason too. But Creep Farm, I mean, taking a closer look at that, see how things are going. Speaking of Berserker, actually 22-7 compared to the 12-2 rally. So Pee-wee on Berserker here is most certainly having a pretty good time, it seems like.
And Riser, man, he got that initial gank, creating the Bloodlust opportunity in mid, and now he's just focusing on power farming. It looks like he's waiting here to oh, actually, no, he waited around for a while. Maybe his Infest was on cooldown. Didn't quite catch it. Going to kill this camp outside the range to continue his farming pattern. Any dust picked up yet? He actually does have dust first thing. Love it. Love it. Gonna be instrumental here in picking off this Keeper of the Forest, who still hasn't found his boots yet and is actually really, really low. One more haunt, apply the dust, and down he'll go. Can even gank him at the tower, to be honest, if he's quick enough about it. He's going to be low from constantly applying that Nature's Veil to have some lane presence. Wild Hunter picked up, and this is Parasite's moment to shine. Actually rotating towards the middle lane instead.
Yeah, you see him coming towards the middle. There's the Invis, so Water Rev is down, however. For the Legion team, they definitely see the Parasite, and that's going to give them all the information they need. Obviously, they can't stun him out of it or anything, but at least they see him, knowing to play very passive, and Parasite probably expect that he knows something is up too. He's still going to hang around for a little bit, maybe still get an opportunity, but don't want to wait around too long, of course. And it looks like he is going to head back into the jungle now, so good job using that by VN Sensation, you know, to give him being the heads up there. Putting a Water Rev down, a combination on a Magmus, but Pebbles choosing not to follow it up. Didn't really have the angle, so I don't know if that was supposed to be followed up.
Or no, Rally actually had left the off lane, is actually lingering here, so Parasite tried to gank. Yeah. Now allowing Parasite to go level up, and having been boxed out of the lane by this Berserker, now trying to make things happen elsewhere. Saying, hey, we'll let Berserker thrive a bit early on. I'm not getting experience anyway, and I have a devastating stun. Let's actually get this going. So, really controlling Pebbles' farm here.
Yeah.
He's been having a great time against Magmus. I think he's seeing an 8 or 10 more CS in spite of the death, but now that Rally's camping by, he knows he can't get in stun range or else it's going to turn out so poorly for him.
Yeah, I mean, he really has managed. Zergo definitely has managed some great farm still, but there we go. The Lava Surge coming in. The double damage rune activated. The follow-up with the Compel. The chuck in the air. He's still alive, though. Using the bottle charge. Is barely keeping it alive. The turnaround double tap coming out for the team. Eluna's now in some trouble. Gonna be fine, but both Rally and Magmus fall right there. Oh, no.
I can tell you exactly what happened. I mean, actually, let me hear it for you. Did you see that?
I saw the chuck, honestly.
Okay, here's what happened. Let me tell you, man. Got the stun, the Magma stun.
Yeah.
Let it. It was actually beautiful.
Yeah.
And then Rally was in range, right? He landed the Compel, but guess what also landed? The Eluna stun. Pretty much simultaneous.
Okay, so
Emerald Lightning. Pretty much all 1.5 seconds of the Compel stun wasted as Emerald Lightning was stacked on top of it. As such, he barely lived. Let's go back and take a look at that.
Well, hold that thought. Well, okay, yeah. We should be good now. So yeah, let's take a look at that. Okay, so
Compel
initiation.
Nope, and look how much life. Yep. Oh.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
And look, if you look how much life he lives with there.
You see him chuck him up, and he barely survives. And I mean, just disaster, man, disaster right there for Complexity. Ouch.
Meant well, but they just went way too deep for it. Arguably shouldn't have been going that far in the first place. It's one of those things like you have a teammate there, so you sort of get antsy. Even though you're winning the game, you're boxing the Pebbles out of the lane. So Moonmeander's presence in mid, even without the kill, you could tell that Pebbles sort of knew something was up, and he was afraid. And he wasn't going for farm. He wasn't going for farm at all.
Yeah.
So you were getting an advantage even from having it happen, especially if you were being boxed out of the bottom lane, but way too eager in the end. And
VDT trying to apply some pressure in the middle lane with Keeper of the Forest, but you see the resistance coming. You got Rally off to the side, so going to get them to fall back at least initially, or will they? No, they come back in. Master of Arms also joining the party, so it's a 4-man push coming in here. Only 3 here to defend so far from Complexity. Parasite and Wretched X still at the top lane. They do have TPs to use, so would expect some defense to come out.
There's the first one coming into the back tower, along with Wretched X. Going to catch Master of Arms out here.
Jeez, he's all by himself. Magmus actually going to stun him. Pebbles in some trouble right here. He's in a horrible spot. And yes, the initiation of follow will get taken out. Keep the Forest Root, not going to be nearly in time. Double tap coming out for Riser. And Xebe will just fall back. So, I mean, Complexity got over-aggressive just a minute ago, and VDT does the same right there for them.
Yeah, so tossing it on back. Berserker, meanwhile, Pee-wee. We've seen it before. Instead of getting active too early or trying to force anything to the team, trying to just take that early solo farm and convert it. Got 390
gold per minute.
Yeah, 391 there, and Parasite sitting at 360 otherwise after that fight. Highest otherwise, Wretched Hack going up against the Keep of the Forest. Didn't get to thrive as much as this Berserker. Sitting at 268. So really trying to take off here just by being over-farmed. An over-farmed mess here for the Hellborn team to deal with.
He did purchase a Beast Heart. Again, that still could either mean the Helm or the other Parasite here for Berserker. And actually, the Immobilize going to go off right there, but Rally is able to compel away in time. And yes, he will port out in the process. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, though, Magmus gets taken out. Pyromancer and Pebbles combo together.
Interesting thing to know about that is there actually was no other outside interference. It's a straight lane versus lane. Zergo finding the opportunity, and pushing it quite hard. So BK did pick up those earlier steam boots, but it's not exploding. The toss actually used a bit early now. Going to allow Rally an opportunity to deny it. Maybe a port on top of a stun here. Oh! Stun. That is entirely, though. Yeah. The glyph was used a little bit even before. The chalk just wasn't aware, I guess, and used it a little bit out of sync. Shouldn't have been able to deny it otherwise, but very well played in the end by Moon Meander. Went Striders this game, as we've seen him do before with Suicide Rally. And one of the few players to actually really pick up Striders consistently when playing the Suicide role.
He loves the Striders. It doesn't seem like no matter what hero he is, I mean, he will go Striders in the Suicide role, and you know, it just helps him apply more of that aggressive pressure of roaming around the map and setting up kills. And Meander, no one as a player that loves to do that, and for good reason. So we are approaching 10 minutes into this game right now. The top tower almost in deny range at 174 health. Of course, needs to be at the 130 mark. You got Parasite nearby in the Hell Cannon, and Ryzen was trying to find an opportunity, but realizing pretty quickly that it's probably not going to open up. So Pebble's still sitting here with that Nature's Veil. However, I don't know if he's going to get any opportunities. Parasite is running back here, however. No, kind of just going back and forth, being a little indecisive as Ryzer, not exactly sure where to go.
Well, yeah, along with Nature's Veil, you got to keep in mind Pyromancer now has his Blazing Strike as well as this a skill set that synergizes beautifully with that Keeper of the Forest and that AoE lockdown from that root. Yeah. Plenty of AoE as well to go on top of it. Berserker still farming in this bottom lane, still has a port. I'm tempted to believe that he does have the shield. I'm tempted to believe it is going to be the Elder Parasite.
Well, I mean, he has enough for the helm already, so yeah, you would really think.
Well, no, side shop would be his purchase. He's actually walking to the side shop now, so okay, what I said, it is going to be a helm.
Oh, top lane, they take out Wretched Hack right there. Focus on the item he's getting. Meanwhile, at the top lane, Root came out from Keeper of the Forest, and as you mentioned, Blazing Strikes was up for Pyromancer.
Along with the Keeper of the Forest, may have been invis, may not, but the Root into the Blazing Strike, and down they went. 2 ultimates, but ultimates well worth the cost. Meanwhile, returning the favor potentially, Magmus edging up on this Keeper of the Forest. What do they have in terms of dust? A Luna does, not Luna, but Parasite does have it.
There it is, and I don't see him getting out of this. The Eruption even going to be channeled, and Beacon will get credit for the kill on Exhibit. So you mentioned ultimates being used. That one right there coming up from Magmus guarantees the kill on a Keeper. Berserker did port in, by the way, but obviously not going to find the opportunity.
Peter Pandam.
It's a 4-second TP now, remember, so.
Yeah, he's giving vision right now. That's why he's standing on the cliff right there.
Just throw the ward aside in the process, and, well, he'll just continue to farm up here now, I guess. So Steam Boots, home of the Black Legion again. His farm has continued to be pretty damn impressive. 385 gold per minute for Pee-wee here, playing that Berserker.
Rally was probably a little bit afraid with the kill on Keeper. They might try to push this tower only at 174 health. You know, Moon, throughout the games, well, not this game, though. I'm sorry. I was a little bit jumbled up there. It's been a long day of casting, but Zergo.
Wow. Peter Pandam.
Is he invisible?
Found a trap. No, he was actually just hiding in this forest area right here for quite a bit, and eventually found Peter, so.
Yeah, I was going to say, if that tower was, if Moon Meander was the Keeper of the Forest in this game, he saw 174 health tower. Known to, you know, backdoor those low health towers when the other team gets distracted quite a bit. I'd be curious to see how long this defense tower gets to last now here for the Legion side, but it probably will be taken more in a conventional push.
Yeah. Triple stack Ancients, a lot of teamwork needed to come out here from VDT. You do see actually VN Sensation on Pyromancer. He's getting a good amount of these creep kills. I assume they might want to get to Pebbles, but you know he's actually low on mana on life in the process, and he's going to make all those way back to base.
So. Yeah, you don't want to waste any time at all with these Ancients.
Might as well
the sooner you kill them, the sooner they'll get to respawn again, the sooner you open yourself up to actually make yourself useful elsewhere on the map.
Going back to Berserker again, for a hero that we don't really see often at all, just to kind of clarify. So his Carnage ability again is read right there. Is bonus physical damage based on 7 to 8% of your maximum health for 12 seconds. So again, a hero that you can really want to bulk up on in terms of life pool to do even more damage with that Carnage ability. You know, hence the Helm of the Black Legion, and still very possibly something like another Parasite, and then Sanitarius, obviously very popular on him, and all the way to luxury items like Behemoth's Hearts.
Yep.
We've also seen in the past Berserkers where, sorry about that, but with the Carnage, you think, you know, with the debuff and stun duration, you think, oh, maybe Shrunken Head might not be worth it. I personally believe it still very much is in a lot of cases.
Yeah, definitely an essential pickup, which a little bit of insight as to why he might not have picked up an Elder Parasite too. Of course, you can use them separate still,
true.
But they don't stack, and Shrunken Head, very powerful item on a hero like Berserker. Helm of the Black Legion still acting as a damage item for him thanks to the how Carnage just basically works with that maximum health pool.
See right there, Parasite finds the lonely Master of Arms and picks him off with this new present, the Codex. Speaking of Parasite, actually a good question presented. I honestly believe you can't, but it's a question of can you steal the Carnage ability with Parasite? But yeah, I don't. That seems like that would be pretty absurd. I don't believe
I don't think it's purgeable or stealable.
Yeah, it's just one of those, exactly. I don't think it's purgeable, exactly. So, kind of like a brute strength from Hammerstorm.
If it was stealable, though, then that would be probably the most disgusting thing I've ever seen.
Parasite would be focusing for that.
I expect it to be a lot like Hammerstorm's ultimate, where you can't actually remove that state from him no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah. The more you know, right? Knowledge is power. Keeper of the Forest, Ring of Sorcery on him, as well as that Ring of Teacher. Pebbles working towards that PK. I mean, Zergo here, he has had a pretty good solid start. Despite his teammate dying early on, giving up the Bloodlust kill, he managed to still do some good creep farm, and you see now 2-1-2, so he's sitting right about that 300 gold per minute mark here. And the Portal Key is going to be next in line, it looks like. 1,600 gold saved up for him.
Yeah, Keeper of the Forest having transitioned to jungle, mostly opening up the lanes for his teammates to farm. I mean, they're not really falling behind in golden experience at all now. Keeping ahead of the curve and, well, still having room to make up here.
Yeah.
Complexity gets that first tower. It was at low life. I think 170 health Legion topside. Meanwhile, bottom and mid still stand strong.
Oh, it's true, yeah.
Almost full health across both of them. And, well, lacking a brute force pusher or something like that, Ophelia, or the Tempest or the Keeper of the Forest, will definitely give VD time to shape up and pose a defense as soon as they choose to get aggressive. So they're looking to more make pickoffs happen than take those and make a tower push happen instead of just necessarily creating the pressure by pushing directly. They're a little bit too slow in that regard.
Portal Key finished on Pebbles. He is having it delivered to him right now, and he's at this top lane area, so he's going to try to maybe set up a gank here on a Rally. Pretty beefy as Rally. Mystic Vestments, Beast Hearts. I don't know if he can get it by himself necessarily. And actually, Rally's not going to stay around long enough for us to even see, so Pebbles will instead continue to farm once again here at the top lane. 2,500 gold.
Haven't seen Berserker get active yet at all, man.
Yeah.
He's pretty much farming.
He's just farming.
I mean, they're content too. They know they're probably a little bit ahead of the curve. I'm sure they're not really thinking about it right now, just saying, hey, we don't have opportunities to fight, and choosing to be more reactive than aggressive.
Rally just missed the compel and may have overstepped his boundaries. Moomiator, what were you thinking? Blazing Strikes comes out. Will there be enough follow-up? Of course there will. Zergo joins the party. Berserker ports in as well. All 5 are here for VDT, and they are going to chase back Complexity. The middle tower still has a good amount of life on it, way out of deny range, so they're going to push this back, and they may even push the lane themselves.
Or are they? I mean, Berserker actually going straight back to the bottom lane.
It's like, oh, back to farm.
Well, there's nothing else to farm. They already took the middle tower, Ricky, so they have nothing else there. I mean, it's like, hey, game. Didn't need it. We actually killed the Rally in the end.
Yeah.
Pebbles Portal Key being put to good use there, and what did he actually pick up now on top of it? Was that just a TP or was it investments? It may have just been investments that you scrap, but
yeah.
Either way.
Back to farm we go.
Further expanding that lead.
I was gonna say though, it's kind of it's on both sides really. You mentioned how he's pretty content on farming this game, not really getting involved just yet. But at the same time, Complexity is content on. They know Berserker's free farming, but they're not really looking to stop it at least yet. They have not occupied it down there at the bottom lane pretty much the whole game.
Well, might go into that. Hear that? It's like you don't see him. Uh-oh.
Oh wow, big compel and a wretched hack right there. That looked awkward with the animation. He did attempt to chuck it.
Is up on Parasite.
Yes, Pebbles dropping. Monza but the Master COL comes out before the after the.
Oh, huge!
He chucks him away. Says, "Get off me, bro!" And he will stay alive. In the meantime, Magnus escaping death as well. But over here, Rally comes in and is able to clean up onto support playing that Master of Arms. So at least Moomiator gets a little revenge from earlier there. But
yeah, nice little pick off.
Jeez.
Magnus almost dropping. Blazing Strike. It's not up yet for Pyromancer. So
look at that purchase, by the way. Axe of the Malphite. Coming out for Berserker.
Straight through for Berserker.
I mentioned Life Pool, man.
Rushing Behemoth Heart here.
I mentioned Maximum Life, that Carnage ability, how it synergizes with it. So in a sense, obviously being a strength here, you get damage output from that as well.
Well, sure.
But holy crap, I can't say I saw that coming. Straight Behemoth Heart. Just with this Axel, let's see what increases. Yeah, the damage quite a bit. He's at 2,100 life now. Again, when he activates that Carnage, it's going to be pretty brutal too. So.
Yeah, and they actually don't have the. I guess they have a decent amount of slots between Magnus, Rally, and Luna. But how about that Rally Compel? It does take 1 second still. I'm trying to think here. Oh, it's a 2-second stun, tricking off the. Just trying to think if he has enough time to even use his ultimate. If you have a max with an 80% debuff duration on only a 2-second stun, I'm pretty sure Berserker will be able to get out of the way before Rally's Seismic Slam will hit.
It's ridiculous. I mean, when you do see him activate that Carnage at level 3
I don't get to see the hero that often, even in TMM games, man.
Well, no,
so,
of course, yeah. It's
especially one that actually where the
as
game
much
goes
as
the full distance.
As much as I love the hero, I'm the same way. I mean, I really don't see him much. So that's, again, kind of a reason why I like to see him too here. But, oh, Parasite gets another pick. This time on a Pebbles, actually, doing some Ancients, apparently. And able to pick him off while doing so. So Riser continuing to be active. 5-0-1 here.
Yeah, 2 more Wild Hunters available for him still, so don't expect the aggression to stop. That gank probably opening up a tower push here. They've been good about opposing defense. Still, look at Moonmeander's positioning on Rally here. Invisible.
Oh, support just gets decimated there. Powermancer keeper nearby, but they could not reaction type. Berserker comes in, though. They're going to try to get some counters out. Rally's going to pour it out, though. Steam Bath from Magnus. He's hiding in here. He's also showing himself in the process. So we'll see if maybe they can find him. He is going to stun away
as well.
And,
Swagmas, man, slipping on out of there. Tower gets denied in the end, but they have a cost of 2 hero kills. Riser finding that initial opening with the pick off onto, was it Pebbles?
What was that? Yeah, Pebbles.
And then the follow-up kill, Invisible Rally with the Magnus, or the Swagmas, I should say. Dropping the Master of Arms, so Complexity doing what it takes here, closing that experience gap in, and the gold as well.
Yeah.
Still, Behemoth's Heart ever closer for Berserker, and it's a very bold pickup, man. You see at Behemoth's Heart's in like 23, 24 minutes here on Berserker, and you're like, holy shit, what do we do?
Wait a second.
It's kind of like when you see Armadon tank up, and he just sits there, walks in the fight, takes no damage, and then the CC votes come out, so.
Speaking of votes, there's a pause vote, obviously. Just in a second,
yeah,
apparently.
They've neglected giving this Berserker attention.
Yeah.
Hopefully not to their demise.
Yeah, again, it's he is free farming. 0-0 and 0 hasn't been involved his choice, but like I was saying, that's also Complexity's fault as well. They literally have just not really been down here at the bottom lane. So I guess to not get too far ahead of ourselves at the same time, this was actually bottom, and this is now, obviously, what Axe of Malphite also creates a similar rage, and Lifesteal on Berserker with the Whispering Helm in a similar rage is actually a pretty good build too, but it does seem like that would, for several reasons, to go that first over any other major items seems a little odd. On top of that, if you are going to do that, why not get the Whispering Helm first, honestly? So, yeah, that would be the reasons why I would think it's not going to be the similar rage, of course. But
technically, even get a Behemoth's Heart right now, too, if you wanted to split the helm up and
yeah,
just grab it there, but obviously would lose out on a lot of the damage block there. Highly doubt that's going to be the path.
Rally striding over.
For me, this game right now is more building participation, saying he's going to get his Behemoth's Heart. When is he actually going to choose to get active? What impact will he have? We've seen heroes like Jump. Right now, he could be any character. Of course, he's harder to gank because of the fact that he has 2,200 health.
Yeah.
And
quite a bit.
But Shaquille in general. Rally, though, in position. Moonmeander.
They are baiting big time.
He may try to set something up, but no, he's like, screw it.
Yeah.
They're all here. I'm not going to mess with it. Not entirely leaving the area just yet, though, so. Potentially going to set things up with his team. Grabbing that 22-minute rune. Regeneration from underneath VDT. And tower will fall. There's the Behemoth's Heart.
Yeah. Jeez, I still can't believe that. Can he get it before any initiation? That was a question. Magnus
They're
level 11, by the way.
Exactly.
Yeah,
if they go for this tower, could prove to be a fatal mistake for VDT, and you have the Behemoth's Heart coming.
Here we go. Here we go. Magnus sitting in the spot.
They're using the minions.
Trying to maybe see him.
Probably should use those to scout inside there. I mean, there's a straight path to that.
Behemoth's Heart still on the way. Not here just yet. Berserker going on the backside.
Looks like he's actually trying to dig away all those creeps. Maybe not. Maybe I'm reading too much into it.
Yeah. The Rev even placed down in the front lines to kind of get some extra vision there. There's the Behemoth's Heart. 2,700 life for Berserker already in this game. That is just ridiculous, especially for this time. We are only 23 minutes in right now.
He also has the armor from Keeper of the Forest, so.
Oh, there is a chain spike. He's going to go in right here. The strength step going on. Magnus going to channel up the eruption. There's the Carnage going off. Going to be set a big eruption from Magnus. Berserker is just being kited in the meantime. Parasite from behind. He will eventually be picked off, but now the Legion team, the root comes out. They need to look to fall back. It looks like it is a 4 versus 4 right now, so 1-for-1 exchange right there.
Yep,
and now they're going to go back in. Berserker in the front line still.
Back in 20 seconds on Berserker's ultimate. Use that Behemoth's Heart to try to regen up. Very, very big ulti, very big bat blast, but they're actually still overall looking pretty healthy. I don't think they actually want to go, though. They're 4, but one of them being a keeper to the forest, a little bit limited on their aggression. Berserker probably just going to resume farming the lane. Feeling like he's... Actually, no, that's pretty much going to be it.
Well, that is something we did see that fight as well. A great thing to bring up too is Berserker is susceptible to kiting, as a lot of melee heroes are in general, of course. So
sure, went for the rally initially and well, broke it in attempts to stop him from compelling on out. But meanwhile, it was just a bait. It was a trap the entire time.
Yeah.
Magmus coming on. It still could have gone a lot worse. Parasite had to jump in to make sure that Pebbles die, if I'm not mistaken, and well, as such, put himself into fatal positioning. Actually, no. Zergo died without any assistance from Riser at all, so Riser was trying to more secure a follow-up when he was picked off.
Wretched Hag did go to the life brand just before that fight, by the way, has it now to assist on Tralfamador's farm, of course. Playing that Wretched Hag. Dust used by Parasite right there. I don't know if that was a misclick or not, or if they actually thought Keeper of the Forest or somebody was nearby Invis, but obviously nothing to be had there. So instead, we'll continue to push the bottom lane in the meantime.
Well, you know, you talk about kiting as well. Not only do they have Wretched Hag, you're looking at 2 other heroes with, Rally with that compel ability. If he gets it off before the chain spike end, as well as the Magma stun. So,
but a TP.
Pretty big options there.
Port to the bottom lane if Complexity insists on pushing this, and it looks like they very likely are. Wretched Hag comes down here with a haste rune. He's ready to go.
Keeper root is up, however.
There's Berserker porting in.
Yeah, Berserker in the front line being like, hey, if you want to go on me,
come at me.
My team will have something to say about it.
Yeah. Complexity not having it. All 5 of them just fall back. I mean, they're intimidated, as they should be.
Behemoth's Heart.
Yeah.
No real sign of anything like a Shrunken Head being picked up yet, or an Elder Parasite. Would still give him a lot of damage really quick.
Very interested to see what he does follow this with now. I mean, first out of Behemoth, sorry. So you got your life pool taken care of. I find it hard to believe it's going to be Shamans.
Not going to be in the end. Yeah, you might think maybe Shamans and he's actually just going to go up, attack the tower, and try to be a target here for the Hellborn team, but no. To keep on farming up. Going for this bottom tower again, forcing Complexity to sort of group up here. BQ with 2400 has the ability to buy something like a tablet, which we've seen a lot coming out from him post-Portal Key. Nothing yet, though.
Yeah. I think a Demonic, yeah, I was going to say, a Demonic Breastplate just kind of hit me, and he actually does pick up the Soul's Bulwark right there, so.
Yeah, especially if you want to leave your options open to ultimately get a Shrunken Head. It's a nice way to pick up attack speed later on with that Demonic. As well as this furthering your status as an unkillable tank.
Oh, they're going to catch Keeper of the Force right here. Eruption being channeled. He will be picked off in the end. Rally even throwing the Capella when Magmus got caught in an awkward spot, but they get the kill. Xibi was down here for a little bit, man. He was, I don't know if it was for the rune or whatnot, but he ends up just getting caught out in a bad spot there.
Yeah, Magmus ultimate used, but sure they'll use it to kill the Keeper, no problem. Yeah, really just VDT not trying to make anything happen.
Yeah. They kind of are here. I mean, even without Keeper, they're going to push the middle tower. Of course, their bottom is being pushed in the meantime. But it's going to be interesting to see if Complexity maybe ports in here once that tower is destroyed. There's the tower kill. Looks like they are TPing to the base tower. Carnage activated by Berserker. There, he's going to be stopped, but look at that. He gets out of it immediately. Going to be tableted away, and he will be fine for now.
Not over
yet. In the meantime, Master of Arms trying to port out. No stun on Wretched Hag. Of course, he will be able to survive before anyone follows up, so.
So
it is denied.
Buying more time, buying more time. A hero like Wretched Hag with that Grimoire power pretty much edging upon the completion of it does become just a ridiculously fast flash farmer.
Yeah.
Rally getting that portal key as well.
So Berserker, another thing to note about that fight too is that the Carnage, it will work against towers. And so I'm hitting that tower pretty damn hard before it eventually got denied by Complexity right there. There's that Grimoire. Picked up by Wretched Hag.
And vote to pause actually coming on out here.
Need another second apparently. A quick fix, hopefully no auto updates.
I don't really know what to say. really just low action coming out of VDT. Of course, they've had that portal key on Pebbles, but they've been using it more as a threat
than
actually getting down and dirty with it. Complexity seems to continue looking for opportunities here. Still, it is VDT that in the end is maintaining the gold and experience advantage.
Yeah,
so I'll give him some sort of credit here.
While we are sitting in the spots, let's actually take a look back at the fight at the bottom lane, I believe it was, where Berserker just picked up his Behemoth art, and initiation followed. So, again, you kind of see Berserker decide he's waited long enough. He goes in there with the chain spike. The immobilize onto Rally. Pebbles kind of falls in. Not the best follow from Pebbles. He completely missed.
Yeah, but look at that Parasite then.
Yep, Parasite in the background's like, wait a second. And then he gets picked off back there. So, but Berserker, I mean, you look at the life pull of Berserker. It's, by the way, that was just
what was that? Ancients.
Not missing much.
Like cleaning on up. I mean, he just finished his portal key, so not really nearing any major pickups here, but just trying to keep his farm up. Unless I'm missing something, he'll have to go back and get full mana afterwards. Oh, there's a regeneration rune. Hack gonna be the proud new owner of that.
Snatch that one up. Go back to farming in the meantime. Magnus Beakit, 3,200 gold saved up on good old Beakit here. So he's pulling up quite a bit. We definitely see him go Shrunken Head quite often, as far as his follow-up is concerned.
Yeah. Utility items also not that. But yeah, given they saved up 3,500, wouldn't be too surprised and give him a way to get out of this Keeper of the Forest route before getting punished.
226 creep kills by Pee-wee, by the way. That's some impressive amount of creep kills here, as we're now only 29 minutes into the game. So, obviously, when you're only 1-0-0 and you're farming 400,
you better be farming a shit ton of creeps. 230, exactly. Comparing that to the 230 creep kills, 97 denies. So yeah, playing that static farm game quite a bit.
PvE mission successful so far for Pee-wee.
It's true.
Leading the way at the top lane. Look at that. Look at the 384 damage.
Not only that, look at the farm on Pyroman. He has that tablet. Already has a Mighty Blade as well. Quick tower push, so both teams sort of dancing around each other still here, waiting for the right moment.
Yeah,
what is it going to be?
Secondary support. VN Sensation playing that. You're right. The tablet command, the Mighty Blade, the Steam Boots. He's definitely got quite a bit out of it. More Master of Farms in the meantime. He's just worried more so about the levels. Obviously, he's been taking care of the wards. He does have his boots and some investments, so managing to at least get enough here. But split pushing from Complexity in the meantime. Bottom and middle lane. Look at Rally. Moonmeander getting very aggressive here. He is going to portal key away, though, and eventually Homecoming Stone out. Almost got himself caught there.
Like Complexity's doing, at least with that split pushing, to force him to address it and gives them time to farm their own map safely. As they're dealing with pushing out the mid and bottom, he knows that, hey, our jungle is going to become significantly more safe. They do have a stack going on over there.
Yeah.
Plan to see them triple stack and farm it again as the 31-minute mark approaches.
Man, you know what? That's another thing, actually. The Master's Call, the offensive Master's Call in this Berserker, man, with that Carnage activated, that seems like a deadly combination right there. So.
Oh, yeah.
Hell, if they were able to get empath, that too would be.
Actually has the ability to pick up a warp cleft here too. Talk about attack speed, and he didn't get to go the Elder Parasite route. First opportunity to really make that skyrocket on top of the level 4 mark for death.
Yeah. Yep. Attack speed to get from that too. So, continuing the farm game.
It's been a static back and forth, looking for that one explosive fight.
Yeah.
So if you're afraid of getting kited already, don't wait until they all have shrunken heads and shit too.
Well, you already got the one in Magnus. As far as working on it and others, doesn't look like it yet. Parasite, what level is that Codex? He just went inside the Ballista. Can't check just yet, but actually, Berserker running up right here, and Parasite will take off, so maybe VDT? No, not yet. Gonna fall back once again. But,
it's a lot of patience.
Yeah, it really is.
Experience gap pretty much sealed, though.
Yeah, very
identical. A little bit further behind. Magebane's farm, not unlike Magebane's now with that Grimoire power. Not Mage. Did I say Magebane's farm not unlike a Magebane, or did I say
it's not Magebane?
Wretched Hag?
Oh, speaking of Hag, right here, blinking away, but look at the chase coming out from Berserker. Mark for death applied. He has another blink of 1 second. He immobilized. Oh, he's going to pull it off after he ports out. But do they have any kind of stuns? No, they do not. He's just in the way over there in the pond.
Needed to break that just a half second sooner. You can tell he really wanted to maximize the duration, but still, if he broke it, it's quite a long time, actually. 2.5 seconds there. As I was saying, Wretched Hag's farm. Not far from epic-like Magebane proportions once he picks up that Grimoire power, and Shrunken Head pretty much near completion. I think he's just missing one piece here, or did he actually get, but no, I think he just got the hammer.
No, he had 20.
Oh,
okay.
did he?
He had like 2,700 gold or something like that, so.
Okay, I actually missed the pickup then.
Yeah, I guess it might have been, I missed it too actually, so I'm not exactly sure. I think he might have got a hammer as well.
Okay.
I think you were around that, yeah. Bottom tower, though. Secondary tower going down right there. Berserker leading the way. Here we go. Rally actually jumping in. Oh, he's going to be chain spiked, though. He's blocked by his own grapes. There's a chase. The Carnage is activated, and Pebbles even follows it up. The damage output so intense right there. That wasn't even the Carnage, excuse me. That was actually just Strength Sap.
Wretched Hag still has a port, not using it just yet, seeing as how they backed out and content to push this mid tower. Looks like he made it here. The glyph is activated. Ports are coming in, though, and Wretched Hag, well, not TPing out just yet.
Gonna kind of scout things out first.
For the forest, yeah, he's like, oh.
Now I go. Ooh, Rally gonna jump Berserker, and Master Mars. Pebbles trying to assist, but Master Mars will fall pounding on the ground. There comes a face suck onto Berserker, but he's just gonna kite away. He does have the Carnage activated currently. Marked for Death not up just yet. He has a Chain Spike ready to go, but not gonna find the opportunity in the end. So Master of Arms falling right there.
We're turning the favor, sure.
It was a big jump. I mean, Pebbles almost did a good job of timing a counter right there on Rally.
Still the game
jumped in.
Pretty big neutral point. We're into the Demonic Breastplate maybe before they get active.
Jeez, man. 470 gold per minute. We did get to see that Carnage, though, earlier on in the game in that mid-fight, I believe it was, where the Compel came out. You even talked about that, how he got compelled, and literally, I mean, just it happened so quickly. He was out of the Compel stun very, very quickly. Again, the 80% debuff and stun duration reduction. Definitely makes it powerful there.
There it is.
He just finished it? Yep. It has been delivered.
They really are reliant on this Wretched Hag to carry in the late game, though.
Oh, yeah.
And Berserker can go quite crazy at Pebbles. Ultimately has that bonus attack speed now from Demonica as well.
Yeah. Well, we are going to get some answers on potential of a Berserker late game, man. Mid to late game and what he brings to the table. He's been free farming for pretty much all this game. As you said, competing against a Wretched Hag really when it comes to carry competition. And he has a good supporting cast around him, as do both teams for the most part. I mean, this continues to be a very even game stats-wise, so it's hard to say who really has a true advantage. Just going to come down to play, really. You'd like to see. There's the Strength Sap Carnage
to force it. And on the towers, that's where you actually truly can see.
Look at that, ability. Man. That is just absurd.
260 actually now with his current max health.
Oh, middle lane. Pebbles going to jump and just misses the stun of the Wretched Hag. She was able to blink away. The chase is still going to happen, but no, she's going to blink away again. Damn, that was a quarter of a second maybe between the blink right there and the stun.
Difference and
very, very close.
Codex going back to being leveled up here by Redster. Has that portal key also, level 4 Codex.
Is it level 4? Okay.
Yeah, it is level 4. Jeez. Shrunken Head by Wretched Hag.
Yeah, he loves to do that, man. Loves leveling that up.
Depending on how comfortable she is, and I think this late game phase, you're going to get a Sheepstick, maybe ultimately coming out for Magnus to help contain this Berserker who's
going berserk.
So well ahead of the curve. Pushing 500 gold per minute soon.
Yeah.
It's a lot more, just before, but a lot more of a passive game coming out here for both teams.
Yeah,
a lot on the line. And
yeah, but that's great. I mean, here at the winter bracket semifinals against a double elimination event, but well, you want to make life as easy as possible on yourself. Moving on here in the winner's bracket. So game number 1 of a best out of 3, ladies and gentlemen. So just keep that in mind too.
Going back to the top lane here. Berserkers hanging around in the woods. I mean, even the secondary support Pyromancer Man, Tablet, Shrunken Head, going to be picking up on more. Soon you'll hopefully see a portal key to go along with it.
Lightbrand on Magnus, so now he's going to go for a Grimoire of his own here.
Yeah, I just feel like the rest of the team just scales well. If they actually enter that hyper late game phase, I feel like it scales better on the Legion side. I
kind of wonder, too. Normally we maybe see BK go for something like the Hellfire, especially a Sheepstick, but because it's a Berserker, you know, maybe not as priority here. Wants just more damage output. Berserker going to lead the way.
What is his actual armor count right now? 35
right here. Yeah,
around the ring.
The teacher. Jeez.
66% damage reduction in the end. Physical, of course.
3,100 life. I mean, that's ridiculous. So again, you factor in the Carnage ability. 8% of his maximum life is bonus physical damage. Those are the red numbers that pop up.
And we saw he was hitting for about 420, 430 his base damage without the Carnage.
Absurd.
So 156, and only lasts 12 seconds. So if they're able to actually kite him out throughout it, loses a lot of his effectiveness.
Oh yeah, yeah. The Carnage definitely makes it here. It's kind of a 12-sec, in a sense, kind of like that Draconis with that Cataclysmic Assault during those big team fights. Once that runs off, then not as effective, of course, but he can definitely do plenty while it's up, obviously. So, but more farm, man. All the outer towers have been destroyed, other than this top one. It looks like the top secondary here for VDT is still up currently. Over here, the gold game.
Yeah, the team has really tried to force the Conqueror to this game. I think the Hellborn team has the best Conqueror slaying team, and Legion side just not able to get in a position to do it. I think the best use by here farming the Legion Woods, but Riley's got to be careful. Yeah, I can TP right on out. So
Codex level 5 finished on Parasite. Portal Key on Keeper of the Forest. Going to be able to position himself a little better, and he's level 3 ultimate too. So has that 4-second.
That's a big one.
Now.
Initiating on a rally can cause a lot of problems for him.
Berserker leading the way, so I think we may have found a window here. VDT grouping up right here. They're going to push Invisible Pebbles in the meantime. That's an Invis rune, not even the Nature's Veil.
Yeah, look at the bottom lane. Wretched Hag.
Okay.
Keeping that split push up and finding a time, and they're actually forcing a TP back. Or likely going to be most of the team.
Keeper was trying to get a root off there.
Well, yeah, of course, but
they get back before
enough to back the hell on out of there.
So never mind. Almost had a full force fight there, but the Wretched Hag and Parasite enough of a distraction to get VDT to fall back. And got to reset some things here. 17 more 100 gold on Hag. Oh, there's the other Parasite. Yep.
I mean, complexity. The gold gap has entirely been closed. Experience now gaining in their favor, so they're just doing a better job of controlling the resources. I like to credit that to the mobility of Wretched Hag here, but just the entire team going pretty deep in there. Farm doing an excellent job of just farming all over the place whenever they see VDT group up for a push like top lane or mid.
What the hell is this Hell Cannon doing here?
You saw the other Parasite, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That is, if that's not the decisive factor here for maximizing their amount of damage here during this. I mean, 3,400 health now.
Yeah. God. I mean, now, here's the thing.
They're pretty much forced to go on him or a tower will just drop.
Here's the thing to look at, though. 15% damage taken, as well as the Carnage, where that's a 15% bonus damage. So you're looking at 30% bonus damage here that he takes when those are both activated. So you got to keep that in mind, too.
Actually, look at that. Forced the glyph right away. That's what I was talking about. Didn't even activate the Elder, just using his Carnage ability. 20 seconons now with that cooldown.
Very short cooldown.
So pretty much with each creep wave, almost he can.
You're really looking at 18 seconds
down.
Actually
trying to block it at all there? Or no. I can delay. Just gonna let that run up. Don't underestimate a Wretched Hag, guys. That's.
Oh, okay.
Actually, he's not even being scratched when the Wretched Hag's hitting it. I
think
don't underestimate it, but
aimed a little bit.
Actually, look at. What's up?
Well, he chain spiked, but he actually hit the Archer instead of the Wretched Hag. So.
No, but you see the auto attack plays onto the Berserker?
Yeah, it's like
his life will literally didn't even move.
Tickled, I guess. Was that the wind?
What is his total health regen with the Veil? 40 health per second.
Yeah, it's a lot.
On this Berserker.
There's the chain spike, the jump on a Wretched Hag, can't get the trigger enough. The Carnage, look at the freaking damage. He gets compelled away, barely blinks away in time. Magnus does it, but Berserker is going freaking insane here. Holy crap, he 2 shots right there on a Luna. Going for the tower now. The tower is going to fall.
But Master is down to supports for each side. Being taken out. Wretched Hag.
No eruption yet. No eruption.
Almost back in full health here, Breaky.
Berserker 9 seconds on the Carnage. The Elder Parasite also going to be up in that duration. The chain spike
on
Hag. The pull, it does go off for that. The trigger goes off though. The Magnus going to chill up the rush. The root comes out. There's the stun in though with the eruption. Berserker still in the midst of it though. He is still alive. The Carnage again activated. The strength sap is up. Going for Parasite. Takes over the creep. Going to be fine for now. The kite, will it be enough in the end? Berserker chasing the mark for death, but the stun comes out. But again with the Carnage. Look at the freaking Carnage. Down goes Magnus. Pee-wee's going to survive. Running away, he finally will fall to Wretched Hag right there. Keeper of the Forest doing what he could. He's going to go invis, and actually for now he is good. Porter King 2 seconds, 1 second. No, the compel comes out. They clear the trees. He can't get out. 1 second. No, he blinks away just before, and he will survive.
So that Master's Call actually wasn't used when they were going for that initial kill onto Wretched Hag. Maybe a buffed up Berserker might be able to do. Also, I've got to say, he got that initial chain spike onto the red jacket. It looked like he was trying to break it as fast as possible.
Yeah.
He was probably mashing it, but if he was able to get it off, that would have been a dead Hag. What about Magnus, too? I thought he could have finished off the Magnus, but he stopped chasing and retargeted onto Hag in the first place. So Berserker getting kited. I really do think he could have killed the Magnus, though. I mean, can we actually go back and take a look at that? Initially, before he...
Well, we do have the Conquer attempt going on.
Yeah, I mean, there's a Conquer attempt. Afterwards, we'll try to make an approach on it.
Right here. Double damage on
Hag, but still very low mana pool.
Rally jumping in on Master of Arms. Master of Arms being on a Berserker is dead. Complexity
knows they have
a chance. Can they kill? Oh, he has a blink up in 1 second. He will be fine. And now VDT in a very difficult spot. Keeping the force, no root up, 30 seconds. Berserker up in 10 seconds. He could have bought back, but obviously choosing not to. They will do enough to stop Conquer, though. So not the biggest deal, honestly. Master of Arms dies, but they do stop Conquer in the end.
Yeah, definitely.
That's pretty
definitely
big.
Worth that death.
Okay, let's go back now. So let's go back.
Please.
It looks like we do have a little bit of dead time here to that fight if we could. Again, I mean, just the damage numbers, just impressive stuff. But I do kind of wonder, too, what the mark for death was looking like from him. Because I wonder if he was really using that into its fullest. It seemed like he might not. Okay, there's the first appliance of it.
Kill 1, 2.
Jeez,
no Master of Arms defensive call yet. So
yeah,
keep that in mind.
From that.
Still chasing, still deep. Look, everyone's actually trying to hurt him. He's not taking Magnus. 2 hits.
Scary the team,
2 hits on the Luna.
See, he has another mark for death here. We'll see again if he uses that, perhaps. No offensive Master Skull yet, as you're talking. Obviously,
Master's dead now, so that's not going to happen.
That doesn't help.
Magnus, you see him hiding behind the tree line, waiting. He's attacking the racks here, but this is actually where it goes bad.
Yeah,
the shrunken head in response to the pebbles. Huge, huge play coming out from Wretched Hag.
Yeah.
That bait out, honestly, is what done the fight for that. And here, look here. Magnus, 1 hit. No, not the Magnus. It's actually on the Parasite. Instead of hitting that's what I meant, the Parasite.
Okay.
Could probably 1-hit that creep and it continued to kill him.
Yeah.
And the Chain Spike maybe follow up onto a rally or something.
Magnus there.
Yeah, still would go hard, but no.
God,
Parasite actually comes back to haunt him in the end.
He was using the mark for death, so I wasn't sure of that. But yeah, in the end, he finally just too much.
In the end, I think the story of that fight goes back to the Wretched Hag and the shrunken head timing right as Pebbles leapt in. He immobilized him. It looked like for a second they forgot about it, making him that primary target. If they could have gotten that Pebble stun off on him, that Sunchuck combo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
fight
he was dead.
Would have been arguably over.
Yeah.
But actually, he might have buy Black Gold. I don't even know. But anyway, a big play of that fight. Going back there, they're going for the racks. They're able to push it really quickly. He's actually immediately going to attack it with it.
Look at that damage! The Carnage again, the stun comes out. The Brutalizer just delivered, by the way.
Didn't even see the Luna stun!
Just falls! The damage
did not have a TP.
Too much.
Oh no, he did have a TP.
Just using that. Oh no, he blinks to the base.
Yeah.
He had to blink all the way to the base to get the TP. That is big right there. Okay, Berserker Carnage shot up for 9 seconds right here. They're gonna go in. They know this is a good time, or is it? He's not taking the amplified damage, so he's still taking this up quite a bit.
Are you serious?
And one, they're using everything. Here he goes back in. Parasite gonna be dropped. The Blazing Strike. Parasite falling. Hatboy Talisman gonna die in the end. Berserker still alive, but a big eruption coming out from Magnus. Berserker is gonna fall in the end when it's all said and done. Keeping the force trying to get away. Will he be able to? The dust comes out. No, he will not. Pyromancer. Oh, Pyromancer somehow ports out in the midst of it all, but again, they fall. However, the melee Rax is dead, but this is going to open up a Kongor now.
Opens up a Kongor as well. It's a huge rolling experience. Sure, they took out the Rax, but I feel like they just went a little bit too hard there, man. I mean, maybe Berserker during that entire time is slowly walking towards the team. Should have been kiting them backwards with his team. If they ultimately lost Berserker, wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world. He did have a Brutalizer, of course, so hoping for those lucky bashes. Picked it up before that fight. In the end, though, they were kiting him effectively before. With this Kongor attempt, no buyback up on Berserker. Pretty much felt like they had to go all in, I guess. They really could have backed off that melee Rax, though, instead of continuing it. I mean,
yeah, I think that's where it went sour for them. The fact that they did continue. So let's, again, more dead time. Why not watch the action once again to exactly break it down and see. Kongor is going to be killed, by the way.
Did show up late to the party, but melee Rax drops.
Just look at that, those numbers.
And look, so melee Rax drop, and he's actually going on the creep wave here.
Yeah.
Instead of backing up, then chooses to target the range Rax.
Even the range Rax is fine.
His Carnage is down at this point, though.
Yeah.
For 14 seconds, and he has a window to back up. I mean, he does.
Okay, so yeah, the range Rax was maybe a little overkill.
8 seconds.
And then here we go. The fight starts. Even now, though, it's like, okay, let's fall back.
Then he actually is like,
back
screwed, I'm taking enough. He's actually baiting it for the Pebbles here, who finds a window to jump in, but Shrunken Head still on Wretched Hag at that point. Is hit there. Tries to convert it onto Wretched Hag, but no, the stun's coming out. His Carnage is not up. if his Carnage was up, yeah, shrugging off, sure he would have taken more damage, but actually probably would have died then with that bonus damage. I mean, it was pretty low. But
his name is Berserker after all. Going man-mount, going balls to the wall. I guess I can't be too against that.
Yeah, but would he have been benefiting more instead of this Brutalizer with the shrunken head?
Yeah.
You see the effects of stuns. Sure, he's shrugging him off, but what about those periods of downtime?
Exactly.
We talked about it before. It's not much more gold. And they're having a hard enough time killing him already.
Yeah,
I can only imagine.
Life.
And we talked about the kite factor. Look what Wretched Hag has on her hands.
Has a Frostwolf Skull. Yeah, that's not going to help things for Berserker.
Pretty much anti-melee carry written all over it. Top of the haunt, so.
Yeah, for people that are saying, again, Shrunken Head obviously, again, doesn't work with Elder Parasite, but it's still, as you mentioned, the downtime area. The downtime area where when you're not aggressive and there's definitely a window.
Right, he's using the Elder Parasite with the Carnage. It's still the downtime where he's just, still able to provide something. But
exactly.
Maybe if.
So kind of trading it off. But, oh, Pebbles is going to just get annihilated there. Rally and Parasite find a big opening, and, well, Pebbles feels the brunt of the exchange right there. So he's dead for about 60 seconds. He does have buyback, but don't really see that happening here.
Token trust me, he attacks plenty fast, even without that Elder Parasite up.
Yeah.
Between the Mark for Death giving him plus 40, between the Steam Boots and the Assault, the Demonic Breastplate, he'd be plenty fine. So.
Ooh, Keeper. The 4 is going to get picked up now, it looks like. They do have Dust, I'm guessing. Yeah, they do got the vision on him, and it is going to be enough for the kill right there. The Bound Eye obviously coming out. And the Keeper of the 4 is also picked off. So Complexity just going left and right now. It seems like finding many opportunities. And it's going to be a matter of time before they start pushing into the base right there. Pyromancer nearly blinking away. Almost got picked off.
Yeah, it's not just the Token of Life. I mean, it's the fact that they still have most of their buybacks up. Moonmeander used one earlier on, but...
Yeah, so
almost feel like they should have been forcing a Congo a little bit sooner while the game was still a little more even. They've been really paying for it with the attempts to crack base. I mean, they do have the set of racks down. That is what is in their favor.
Yeah.
On top of the fact that still everyone else on the team besides the Wretched Hag now, who's in a really tough time hitting on, is pretty much still dying in a few swipes from the Berserker.
Yeah, the numbers are most certainly there when he can get those auto attacks off. For Berserkers. So Ken, kind of moving out here, you are at that state of the game if you're VDT where you do gotta look to take those risks because the game continues the way it is. It does seem like it's gonna be all for Complexity in their favor. So got them kind of pushing out a little bit right here. Again, Berserker leading the way. Some gold being pulled up across the board somewhat. Got about 2,000 gold on Keeper of the Forest, 1,700 on Pebbles. So maybe one more tier of items here before they really try to do something.
Currently invis and scouting things out. Actually, it's a Pebbles who sort of blinks in there. Uses his combo already. Wretched Hag, Grimoire power available. Pyromancer is nearby though. Maybe you can be able to pick off the Pyro.
Yeah.
As the read, especially if Rally's in the area as well.
Oh no!
Catching him out here.
He's gonna open. Pebbles actually blinking right there, and oh, the portal key from Pyromancer. He got the read, and VN Sensation able to blink away just before the jump. So no kills happening there.
He needed to lay in one auto invisible as Wretched Hag. Probably wouldn't be able to respond to that before the rally to blink in, and
true
would have been enough to snare him and potentially lock him down. Obviously, they didn't have full vision of where the enemy team was, so they were trying to play it really cautiously.
Yeah, again, it's easy for us to say, but you don't have the vision that we do with God mode here, then changes things up a little bit. So Parasite and Magnus involved at the bottom lane. Magnus does have the post haste.
Complexity's been winning the fights when they're happening on their turf.
Yeah.
What happens when they try to crack base?
I mean, yeah, you're
I
right.
feel like,
it's
you know, Keeper of the Forest can have a much easier time there.
Yeah.
Does have the portal key for the excellent initiation. Meanwhile, still just picking up farm. Sheepstick almost completed, though, by Beacon. I can almost guarantee you that's what he's going for. Especially catching that Berserker without that Carnage job. Keeping him locked down and slaying his team. And
on top of that, the Storm Spirit on Rally that he just got. So another nice saving tool. Token of Life, 125.
Infinite cutting utilities. They have the Void Talisman on Parasite. Pretty much every hero giving the Berserker problems.
Pebbles does pick up the Abyssal Skull, so gonna help, especially this Berserker here. giving him a little bit of lifesteal presence. As well as a nice armor buff, always nice. Oh, Wretched jumping in. She finds several heroes right here, and here we go. She is kind of an awkward spot at the same time. She does have the Shuriken up here. Comes that Carnage up, Berserker being so good at him. Gonna get him stunned, however. Wretched be locked down. Wretched will fall. The Carnage so powerful right there. Now he's changed into Magnus in the meantime, but the Carnage is now up. The Immobilize once again coming out, but there's a Storm Spirit on the Wretched. Berserker still trying to find the target. In comes a Seismic Slam, though. Berserker be locked down, but again, Berserker putting in the auto attacks. Carnage up in 5 seconds. They take out Rally in the process. Wretched falling, and Wretched, she's marked for death. Sight. Will they chase? Yes, they will. Berserker going after. Pebbles jumps in. Here comes Berserker.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, the one away. Gets away. Berserker still chasing. Mark for less than 2 seconds.
He's
1 second. Can't get it off.
He's
and
going to get out. They needed that kill. They needed that kill.
That would have been big.
Oh, my God. Huge, huge escape coming out. Who was that with that cover stone? Was that a Magnus, I think, came right on?
Big kid.
Yeah, so the Swagmas coming in the last second. Trying to escape here. He's in the bottom lane, has his post haste up, and this should be easy getaway. Unless he's going to hang out here on the bottom lane looking to party instead. But yeah, token taken down. Wretched's life on the line. I believe Carnage was down when they were trying to apply that follow-up damage.
Yeah, it was.
Holy crap.
Until the very, very end, but by that time she had blinked away again, so jeez, I mean,
what else can you say? That
close. Was very close there. But
again, with the dead Wretched would open up a lot of opportunities. Maybe they can even rush the base there and force a buyback.
Yeah,
6,500 on Magnus, and that fight was close, but once again, waiting on that sheep stick.
Yeah. It seemed like Complexity almost they were going to pick off the supporting cast right there, more so the Berserker.
Well, probably didn't expect the excellently timed Shrunken Head too, the Pyromancer. Saw a little bit of the response. Actually didn't go for a sheep stick here. More for the demonic breastplate.
Yeah, what that? Interesting.
A lot more mitigation here at least.
Yeah.
Against this Berserker who is entirely dependent on his physical damage output.
You talked about that Void
but
Talisman.
Yeah, I'm still worried about the lockdown on him, or the lack thereof. You know, I know sheep stick people are saying, oh, you know, the ultimate reduces the time of it, but it's all about, you know, catching him off guard before it's actually able to go down and then maybe taking out his team or in those periods of vulnerability.
Yeah, and that's only when the Carnage is up, exactly. So if you jump in first and you get the sheep stick off, then he still gets stunned for the full duration.
Still, I understand maybe just going for something else instead, which might be more consistent and relying on something more like that Frostwolf Skull to kite him. Demonic Breastplate, good for any team.
Yeah, it's never too much wrong with that as far as a luxury item especially. So here we are approaching 55 minutes into this game here. I don't know if we've had an hour game
game one
yet.
of the series.
Yeah, I don't know if we've had an hour game yet here at Dreamhack, to be honest.
15K, it's kind of almost...
Oh, there's an easy pick.
Well, I kind of wanted to say it was almost reminding me of the SG game a little bit, where a huge golden experience lead for one side, but not feeling like the game's entirely over yet.
I mean,
not feeling too good about their odds, though.
Well,
kind of feels like a one-man army at this point.
You do look at, I mean, remember, the melee Rax is down. Melee and range Rax is down in the middle lane in favor of VDT.
Yeah, so they have that going for them, sure, but look at the major pickups about to be procured there. Wretched Hag at 4,600, Parasite at 4,700. I guess you have a Keeper of the Forest, though, drawing ever closer to that Restoration Stone. And that's where the game gets interesting. That becomes their second lifeline, so to speak, here.
8 seconds of lockdown. Obviously, also a way to re-lock down people after they get out of the first one. There's another benefit. Yeah, the Restoration Stone. Big, big, big for Keeper once he can get that. It is getting close. 3,000 gold saved up on Berserker.
Oh, God.
I believe I just saw a Firebrand purchased by Hag, by the way.
Yeah, Geometer's Bane, man, going true carry Hag at a point like this with that Grimoire power. Will still put a lot of damage, but those illusions, man, keep him on Berserker. And yeah, I mean, while Wretched Hag will be able to use her Blink and mobilize away and position herself, those illusions will stay on, and they'll be quite tanky at that. So
yeah. Hellflower picked up by Parasite, by the way.
Not to mention an escape for if she does get immobilized.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually, you know, I'm talking about the illusions, I'm sorry, but I mean, the escape mechanism for the Keeper route, which is one of the only reasons she was in trouble last fight in general. Yeah. The immobilize, going through the Shrunken Head there to its physical. I mean, activating the Chain Spike afterwards.
It definitely makes sense why it's
worked on. So yeah, no, it is for the escape mechanism. The illusions, keeping that slow, and the Kaya and the Berserker do help, but that is very much an afterthought.
And let me ask you this. I mean, you got the Demonic Breastplate, you have Void Talisman over here on Parasite. I mean, do you start getting to a point maybe where you think about Harkons, or If you're Berserker, that is? Or is it just not, is that not really
Due
a
to
question?
the Void Talismans in the armor, it might sound crazy, but I'm sure you can potentially see it. Would have to get rid of his Brutalizer, though, and it seems like he's really thriving on that lockdown. They haven't de-warded this ward by Peter Pandem yet.
Yeah.
They have a Ward of Rev placed in the river, not actually scouting it. It's just out of reach of support's Ward of Rev, so they actually probably think it's in range. I think they have no idea that's there.
Oh, whoa, we're going to have a jump up here onto a Luna Active Ball here. But look at the background. Pyromancer completely picked up. That Carnage activating the other Parasite. He's going for Wretched Hag, trying to burst him down. The root comes down, and Wretched Hag is going to be locked down the whole time. In comes Magnus, with the Eruption. Berserker still alive though. The Carnage going for Rally. Immediate buyback from Wretched Hag. Keeping the fortune to survive. Trying to now chase down Rally. One more auto attack. Mark for Death is up. He will get the kill right there, but now he is all alone. Can Berserker actually get away? Mark for Death is up. Trying to speed. Carnage is down there for 5 seconds. It's not going to come up in time, and he will fall. He does have the buyback himself, and there you go immediately. But again, Kongor's up. It's just him and Pebbles against the 4-man fight here of Complexity for the current time being. So,
still slowing down the advance of the Geometer's Bane here by Wretched Hag, and you saw still when he gets locked down, it turns out pretty brutal. That fight though, Pyromancer never even got to get the Shrunken Head off, didn't get his ultimate off, really needing his presence, and he has that portal key, he has that Shrunken. That's something you cannot afford.
Yeah, getting that additional 950 magic burst damage on targets. I mean, the stuns and what he applies to the table and in general, yeah, getting him picked up right off the bat obviously didn't help things for VDT, but at the same time, good pick up by Complexity, specifically Riser, playing that Parasite. He focused him the whole way, and obviously it paid off in the end. So,
and so they will not be able to do that once Wretched Hag completes her Geometer's Bane. Still, she's looking to have buyback on top of it. One mistake without it. And, well, you saw the pushing capability of Berserker. And they're relying on her to have enough damage to bring down the beast as well.
Got some 25s in this game. How about that? Berserker 25, but look at the other side. Parasites, Wretched Hag, and Magnus, all level 25 as well.
Right, in a game like this, you'd expect it to be the Legion team that's down racks.
Yeah.
The other way around. And it's kind of where this all started going downhill, man. It was right after they took that range racks and dove in that fight. That's where Complexity gained their advantage in that massive wipe in base.
Restoration Stone is still in the works here. It's getting closer and closer.
For Keeper of the Forest, that's right.
We're looking at about 5,000 gold saved up now, so very, very close here.
Kind of crazy to think about how long Berserker's been almost peaked out here.
Yeah. I mean, at this point.
So it can ultimately kind of relying on that move speed a little bit, but he still has Mark in other ways, but I think you might have to look at replacing the other Parasite still.
I would think the Helm of the Black Legion first.
Well, yeah, the Helm of the Black Legion too, but yeah, the Helm of the Black Legion really just not doing much for him at all.
Yeah, at this point, it's a little overkill, or not necessary, I should say. Oh, look at this, though. Double damage rune just picked up, and man, if you thought he was already hitting hard, he could actually go in here and solo Kongor, honestly, if they give him enough time.
Though. They're just going to time it and steal it, man. They can't actually do that. They have a... Yeah, that is Peter
Magnus isn't here. He doesn't post haste, though.
That shouldn't matter, though. He's going for it, man. He's
look at that.
His Carnage.
Here we go. This is it.
I don't know about this one.
Oh, he's going to go for Wretched Hag as soon as he comes in. The Immobile is going to go. Pebbles in the back are going for somebody else. But Berserker being kind of still now going to change his target to Parasite. And Parasite is bursting down a double damage.
The rally on top of it.
So much
Wretched Hag
damage. In jumps Magnus. Wretched Hag being locked down. She blinks away at the last second. Berserker now with the immobilize on a Magnus. Carnage shot up for 10 more seconds. This is where the kite comes into play. Look at it. Berserker just basically walking around at this point. 3 more seconds. Mark for death up in 2. There's the stun. He will have Carnage now. He cannot get it off in time. The Carnage not up just yet. He's still chasing. He's still chasing. Hellfire's applied. Can he actually get it off? Can he get it off? No, he cannot. He's constantly being silenced this whole time. And Pee-wee will fall in the end. Kongor is going to happen. A genocide for Complexity. And that was probably the dagger in the heart.
Huge plays in the end, man. You saw how well they were able to kite Berserker there. You saw how much of a beast he was. I would say the biggest problem I saw at the end of that fight, Pebbles jumped in on that Wretched Hag, right? But it was when Berserker still had 2 seconds left on Chain Spike, and that was before the silences and all came out. So I think if he waited, sort of used the Berserker as bait a little bit longer for 2 more seconds for Chain Spike to be up, that's when he could have comboed it with that and had enough lockdown to maybe catch Wretched Hag. He did not, after the chuck actually happened, though, he wasn't actually able to catch him. Trough snuck away in the end, and his team, top of that slow. You saw the work at the front, and now they have the Geometer's Bane, so catching that Wretched Hag going to be that much harder.
Look at this, too. Magnus post-facing back in. He just bought a sheep stick, by the way.
Pretty much, yeah, absolutely doing nothing in these fights, though. As soon as his Carnage wears off, man. It's just 12 seconds, so.
Okay, Berserker has a buyback. He's going to buy back. Actually, Magma's going in right here. Yeah, they will kill Pyromancer, but Berserker is back. Four of the players are here. Look at all 5 are now here, actually. Everyone gets post-haste. And the ult poured in right here does Complexity, so they're going cutthroat style. And looking to truly finish this game.
Ghost Marcher still on the Parasite, but yeah, they're looking to finish this off. Berserker wants to go in, but he knows his fate if he chooses to.
Yeah, with Pyromancer dead again, it's not a likely situation. Really could use him with that CC and whatnot. And Complexity is going to fall back. So melee set of racks are completely killed. And now Complexity will fall back. You do look at the basic Complexity. I mean, the Shrine Towers are starting to take some damage. So
not enough to actually
middle
be
racks
that
was a big
notable,
deal.
though.
Yeah. I assume, okay, so do we have that Conger fight, I assume? Okay, so yeah, that's actually...
Look at this beautiful kiting.
Look back
from
at yeah.
Complexity, stopping the end. Berserker. 1, 2, just bam. Immediately on a rally. 1, 2.
There's a double root. It gets
Parasite.
Another kill. Here we go. Look at this. Wretched Hag. How does Hag survive this? Magnus does it at the last second and frees up some time right there. And then the kite
going
happens.
for the Magnus. Magnus being the Shrunken, though. And then the slows.
Oh, let's go back to the game, actually. There actually is some big action picking up right here. Pebbles trying to get away in the meantime with the Shuriken activated. You do got keeping the force off to the side. Pebbles being completely chased down, though, into the jungle. And he is going to eventually fall. Keeper the Force also trying to get away now. Root is up, but obviously it doesn't matter.
Man, have got to be called at this point. No buybacks on multiple heroes. Berserker cannot defend the base on zone. He has no buyback. Pyromancer has has them available, does not have the money for it. The entirety of Complexity basically pushing this up. Magnus, post-haste are up and ready, so he's moving to maybe stun this mid-wave out and then join his team. Doesn't want to get cheesed by giant creep wave owning his base as they further their lead here. There should be the post
if you're VDT, obviously, it's not the most ideal situation, but what can you do? You have 2 players. They are going to get jumped on themselves. Berserker, he throws out the Carnage. The Barbed Armor is up from Rally, so kind of intimidating Berserker a little bit, and not much more he could do. So the racks are going to fall, and again, just a matter of time now, it seems like, before VDT says, well, we gave it our best effort. We ran Berserker, nearly pulled through. It was a lot of fun to watch, but in the end, Complexity, just the better team this game around. Regidak blinking in right here. The Bat Blast going off. They will kill Pyromancer, and now Berserker is going to be locked down. There's the Sheep Stick coming out. He doesn't have the Carnage up, so it gets the full duration on that. GG well played is going to be called. And there you go. Complexity taking game number 1 here over Vietnamese Dream Team in this best out of 3. So what a game we had there. Got to see Berserker. Got to see him hit freaking hard.
Very well played. I got to point a lot of criticism towards VDT, though. They played well, but when it came down to it, in that middle fight, you saw how well they were doing even when they were down 25 or 30K, right? They had the melee racks. They had the range racks. Arguably, could have even potentially maybe backed out afterwards. Stayed in there way too long. True, had the game maintained at that sort of even playing field, these encounters, which later on in the game happened where they were down 25K and almost going even for them, could have been totally different. So I feel like they just got a little bit too cocky there, whatever it was in the base, and pressed it a little bit too hard, maybe a little bit of a lack of experience coming to play, and Complexity finding that window of opportunity, driving it home, and victors of game 1. Yeah, again, deservingly so. Well played indeed. Again, I love seeing the Berserker, but ultimately the kite factor really did come into play right there. You are right, though, and I know exactly which fight you're talking about, where, again, they got those